morning. I'm signing books today. Get your copy. It's more than a real estate book, it's an American history lesson. Get your signed copy by the author sent to you with a special message from Eureka M. Ramjour. Get your copy today. It's the time for us to start ruling again. I actually know personally that it's 10 years behind on my timeline, personal timeline, and being delayed by these different entities that choose to delay or try to delay what is inevitable and what has to happen in this time. So, as I was saying, all of us who have thought that we was gonna have to fight for something, we gonna have to have a race riot, a race war. We don't have to fight for nothing that's already ours. We don't have to fight for anything. Why fight for something that's already yours? You have to know how to command and demand. They send you a bill, you send them a bill. They send you a complaint, you send them a counterclaim, countermand complaint. Start learning how to move in a rulership capacity. That's what rulers do. Like I said, when you get on a piece of land, a parcel of land, this is the way it was designed initially as a settlement. You and your family are supposed to be there and settle on that land forever. But here we are being moved and, moved from pillar to post, being subject. We are being subjugated to foreign entities that are not supposed to be ruling over us, that are not supposed to be on our land at all. So why is it that they living high on the hog, and those whose land they stole is out living on the street, homeless everywhere you look around? The first part of it is knowing who you are, knowing that you are not from somewhere else. And even if you were from somewhere else, the melanin, the humanity overrides any claim they have. So if you claim to be indigenous, if you claim to be aboriginal, that's enough said. That's in the law. There's so many case laws that indicate that. Title 25, 194 indicates that. They can look at you and tell who you are. The burden of proof is on them. I am who I say I am. If an Aboriginal indigenous claimant comes forward and says, "This is my land, this is my land," that's already decided. But it's up to us to know that we have this power. So it's nothing to argue about. It's nothing to fight about. You go in there calmly with one-page affidavit, have your knowledge of self together, learn how to stand on your status, and that's what it is. You have to understand so-called, this is something I want my so-called black people to know. You are not a corporate construct. The reason why we don't say we are black is because now we know better. When you know better, you do better. You do not indicate on any state, federal, or local government, quasi government application or paperwork that you are black. The minute you do that, you have stripped your own rights away. There is no legal or lawful protection under the status of being black. Okay? The status of being black, it yields at law 3/5 of a man. It lets them know that they can do whatever they want to do with you. This is what the ancestors and the universe, the Most High, really wants me to stress right now, because a lot of folks don't understand, so-called black folks don't understand the importance of not labeling yourself black. This came about when before we were conquered, before the empire was conquered, the Constitution was written. Although the Constitution has been altered, just like the Bible has been altered, all of these things that were already in place for ruling powers and for those that were running the land, governing the land, these things were already in place. You get the imposter who comes in and steps right into some ready-made stuff. So all they did was injected themselves into it. So I don't care what you say. The Bible is not authentic. You have to look at the real life acts that happen to realize that everything in there is not correct. It's not authentic. And why would it be? A conqueror is not going to sit up there and not do put themselves in it. They're not going to uh leave everything the way it was. So this is my thing with Christians and deeply religious people who don't think for themselves. You a free thinker? Yes, absolutely I am. Because you know what? I can see through the fog. Call me a free thinker, because see, these priests and these pastors and these Islamic um, rabbis and sheikhs uh, in Africa and in the Middle East and in these places where they conquered and took over as Islam, they make people feel like these things are bad, just like in Christianity. Just do it and believe it and don't ask no questions. That's what they want you to do. As long as you do that, you fine. As long as you do that, you'll never find out the truth either. That's what, for those of y'all that don't care about finding out the truth, then that's fine for you. I never been one to be like that. I never been one to not want to know what really happened. I want to be at the root of all things. Nobody can pull the wool over your eyes when you know better. And when you know better, you do better. You don't let nobody change your name, change your identity, tell you I ain't gonna say what I was about to say, but anyway, tell you it's raining and then they, piss all over you. That's what I want to say, so I'm gonna say it. You don't let nobody do that. You have to get the record straight. If somebody took something from your family line, now you have the tools to get it back. You have the knowledge. There's so much knowledge out there. In my tribe, we have a reclamation. There's a 10-page beast that says it all. 2 pages full of case law regarding indigenous inhabitants. You have to attach yourself back to the land. There is no other way around it. You can claim nationality and all these different things, but if you don't attach yourself back to the land, that's where it all that's what it all boils down to. The land, the land mass. So now that the land is deemed not to be abandoned, this is what we were under the auspices of when this imposter came in. That's why they came in. They came in under the auspices of the land being abandoned. The empire was abandoned. That's what they said. That's the excuse they gave out to the world. Meanwhile, while they shooting at the heirs of the land and the imperial family and trying to kill them all in South America. We are coming out of an age where we had to deal with a vicious beast that would take over, steal, kill, and destroy just to cover up the lie of who they are, because they never want to go back to the cave. Bottom line, this is why they had to browbeat the so-called Negro, which that's not a proper term either. They had to browbeat another group of people just so nobody's looking at them. So when you see what Hitler done, you have to do the research and find out, why was Hitler even doing that? What would make him want to do that to those people, and why? When you look into it, you'll know why. You will know exactly why. He was just bold enough to take a stand and say, no, you're not going to be an imposter. You're not going to use something that you stole to make your financial gain. You're not going to, steal the identity of the true family who it belongs to, the heirs to the land who it belongs to. They never tell you the real story. The ones who go around saying Hitler is so bad and, the Holocaust this and the Holocaust that, they are the ones who don't want the true story to be told. They want everybody to think that, they were abused and all of this stuff. It's just sick. You gotta know when the truth is the truth. And as long as we were under the rulership of an imposter that conquered us, is no truth in nothing they have done or said. And they are the masters of illusion, masters of deception, artists of illusion. These people have it down packed. They have their game down packed. And all of their disciples up under them do too. All these orders, fraternal orders, Scottish Rites, Freemasons, Shrine of the Black Madonna, all of this stuff is our stuff that these people then took for their own gain and didn't want to push you out of it. The masses out of it and keep it secret. Initially, it was a secret to be kept amongst the ruling family. They wasn't supposed to have it. They stole they stole everything from the proper order. They stole it from the ruling family. This is what we coming out of. We coming out of a time of illusion. Now things are going to go back to as they were before this imposter came onto the scene. So like I was saying before, if you know you've been here, I'm going to just say what I know about my own family line that I've researched. These people will try to tell you, you from Africa, you from here, you from there. So what? I'm from, my family line came out of ancient Kemet, but guess what? We've been in America 150 million years. 150 million years compared to 600 years of this creation of an imposter that's now got his foot on my table telling me what things are and what things aren't. It don't work like that. It don't work like that. Y'all have to take charge. You have to learn how to articulate yourself. You have to make proper claims so that you can move in the image and the likeness of your ruling power ancestors. This is the day and time that we are in, and this is the message that I've been urged to give. You have to be careful. Spiritual protection. These people will do whatever it takes to keep the lie and illusion going for as long as possible. And they have gangs of them that don't do anything but sorcery. I'm dealing with it right now. I've been dealing with it in my life. Now they're attacking my son. So just by watching his situation, if you're not seated in who you are, these people will make you think anything. Their job is to create an illusion and to get as many people to believe that thing in which they're trying to create. It don't have to be true. Same thing they do in the media. It don't nothing they say is true. Nothing, probably about 90% of what they say is true. But it don't have to be, as long as they can get you to believe it. The perception is all they care about. They never cared about the truth. So if you're not seated in that in which you know and that in which you are, when you go out to conduct your business, you need to already be ahead of the game and get your status in order so that when something comes to challenge you, you are already there in front of it. Because best believe the challenge is coming. Because you have people, you have non-human beings. Yep, non-human beings. I'm not trying to be nice. I'm not trying to sugarcoat nothing. It is what it is, and I know what it is. You dealing with a hybrid being who is now sitting in a place of power that feels like they're so entitled that they don't have to give you your rights when demanded. So now that we know, a lot of times we now know who we are and we present them with proper paperwork within the register of deeds and within different places and in court and different things like that. And people say, well, they not honoring it. It ain't for them to honor. You put you said what you said, and that's it. You put it on the record and you leave it there. If somebody else try to say something or rebut it, you put something else there and you make your word the last word. You have to know how to conduct yourself in your affairs and let them know that you are not a minor. Okay? This is how they've been operating. Taking control of your life, your estate, and your children based on terms and conditions that you were never aware of. Entered you into contracts that you were never aware of. And if you still claiming black in 2022, They gonna smash you because they on their last leg right now and they trying to get whatever monies, whatever, however they can suck you dry, they gonna do it. They gonna try to bring all type of cases. They gonna try to run you through the ringer because they trying to get what they can get because they getting put up out of here. It's the end of their rope. It's the end of their time. So they gonna definitely come for the weak and weak minded. And that means those that don't know who you are and you don't know how to stand when challenged. You have to know how to stand when challenged, and you need to get up to speed before you are challenged. Don't wait till something happens. You dealing with an animal. You dealing with those that don't have any type of moral compass. They're destructive. They're destructive and they follow orders. They're like robots. This is what I'm noticing. They are like robots. They've been casted spells upon them in the last 3, 4 generations. All those who are in these Masonic orders under the Jesuits, they all work in governmental offices. They all work in these secret societies, Knights of Templar, Knights of Malta, Knights of Columbus, Daughters of the Nile, Sons of the Nile, Ku Klux Klan, Scottish Rite Freemasons, York Rites. They get an order, and if that order say go and jump off this bridge, meet me at the bridge and go jump in the water. It's like they all be robots and they go do whatever that order is. So these Jesuit priests who stole the knowledge from Tahuti, they used it for wicked, to control and manipulate people's minds, all kind of stuff. All kind of stuff I'm seeing in my own experience and dealing with these people, dealing with these pale faces, non-human beings, hybrids. These are the real 3/5. The real 3/5 is who been ruling over us. Now, how crazy is that? A black-eyed hybrid of a rhesus monkey, which is why they stayed in hiding in under priesthood, under the priesthood, and wearing these. I mean, it's crazy. It's so crazy. Y'all wouldn't even believe the craziness that has gone on in the world. And I know it because it comes straight to me. It's been coming straight to me. And I just realized it was just revealed to me that these orders have been following me for the longest time. The Islamic order, these priests. I remember when I first went to Africa, it was a tall, dark-skinned man with a long cloaked hood on and a long cloak on. And I just was like, who is this? The Grim Reaper? That's what he looked like. He looked like a Grim Reaper. Now today, I know it was an Islamic priest of the Jesuit priesthood who's also in Africa as well, coming out of Senegal. This priesthood was in all the places where they took over the empires. They placed a priesthood there. The Mali Empire was conquered by the same ones that conquered the Americanist Empire in America, Aztec Empire, South America, Japan Empire, which is now Japan, because they named it that with a J, and it was really a Y. Italy, Rome, Italy, wasn't Rome, it was Rome, Italy. They have a priesthood there. So everywhere That was the Holly Rockman Empire. So everywhere that there was a power base of the first family of Tahuti imperial lineages all over. These are all branches of the Tahuti family tree all around the world where they had empires. These conquerors went there and took those areas over and conquered those empires and put a priesthood there and began to run their businesses from a priesthood and took over everything the empire owned, and they made it their business to try to kill off all the heirs. This is why they've been following me and trying to kill me all these years, which I didn't even know I was an heir to any of it. But because of the markers that are in your blood, they know who you are. That's why y'all need to be careful about who you giving your blood to, who's your physician. Don't go to these pale faces. They all in this secret order, and they're going to test your blood, and they probably, if you got that rich blood, that first blood, they probably gonna be taking all these valves of blood that they don't need just so they can drink it. Because this is what they do. This is what real life vampires do to make themselves powerful. Take the organs, drink the blood of the original people. They actually do this. And you can't even be a priest or a bishop without drinking the blood from a goblet. It's certain rites of passage that they make them do to get anything from them, just like in the music industry. They turn all of these guys into homosexuals. You can't go high up unless you become a homosexual and or give one of your children up. Okay? This how serious it is. These people is wicked. It's just no excuse for it. But this is who's been running everything. But they got their knowledge and their power from those who were ruling on the land, lawfully ruling on the land. This is very important because it doesn't matter whether you are from Africa, from somewhere else, wherever you are. This is in our law. Wherever you are, if you are a part of the first family, the imperial family, anywhere you set your foot upon can be yours. That's why they want you to believe that partition off, separate you from this side of the family. You can't go over there. Nope. You in the Gambia. We're not letting you go to America. Nope. You over here in what's these other places that they Amsterdam. Nope, you can't go to this side of the world. You can't go because we all the same people. It's just we spread out. It's no separation in the melanin. Yeah, you have different tribes and stuff like that, but you really need to know who you are. That's where your power is. Once you know who you are and you begin to walk in it, nobody can tell you who you are not. And if they try to tell you who you are, the burden of proof is on them. That's why I never gave my DNA in my blood and did all this 21 3 and me, whatever. I'm not doing none of that. I know who I am already. And they know who I am already. The first thing they're gonna want to do is place you somewhere else, especially the kind of claims that I got on the record at Library of Congress and Register of Deeds and all these different places. The first thing they would do is rig that test and say that I'm from somewhere else. I don't need them to verify nothing. I made my claim now. You prove me wrong. I am who I said I am. Now, go look at your own code, Title 25, 194, along with this reclamation that got all of these case laws in it that say I don't have to prove nothing to nobody. If you don't believe what I'm saying, then you prove me not. And they can't do that because they just got here. I'm who I am. I gotta know that. You gotta know it's time for you to take control of your life. Stop calling yourselves black and quit getting emotional about it. If you want to be considered three-fifths of a man, then just keep calling yourselves black and see where that gets you in 2022 moving forward. Learn what it means to be black. Learn what it means to be three-fifths of a man. That's why you getting smashed. That's why our brothers and sisters getting killed out here. And nobody is being accountable for it. They're being killed, without no retribution at all. And then we want to riot, we want to get frustrated, but you don't really understand what's going on. You don't understand what's going on. It's not something we got to fight for. You simply make the claim, and that's that. Nobody can tell you who you are not. It all boils down to lawfulness and legal constructs. So, three-fifths of a man, the way we can identify who the three-fifths of a man is, no matter what your shade is, what your melanin is, what your, skin shade is. Three-fifths are the RH negatives or RH positive. The RH blood types is just like the RH in the rhesus monkey or the RH in the chimpanzee. Both of those were created by the Anunnaki 600 years ago. That's animal DNA. That's why in certain parts of history, and they say it's a myth and different things like that, where you see half horse and half man. That's the ones who was having sex with animals and creating those hybrid beings. That's the only way they can create them because they have animal DNA also, RH, to be able to do that. And it's a well-known truth that they have sex with animals, bestiality. They was in the mountains doing all of that for 600 for 470 some odd years. So that's how those hybrid beings was created. Those are not real people. Those are not human beings. HUEMAN. Those are not human beings. Those are mankind who was made in the image and the likeness. So if these beings was made in the image and the likeness of you, how do you think they're supposed to be ruling over you? And then they want to call you black because that blots you out of the hierarchy of things. You don't have no power. You don't have no authority. Your authority is in your status, and you won't have that claiming black. That's even in the Constitution, in the Dred Scott case. You have to know who you are. You have to know your status, claim your status, and attach yourself back to the land and begin to let this imposter know what it's going to be, and how it's going to be on your own land. It ain't nothing else. You have to be fearless in this. You can't be timid. You can't be scared. You put what you're gonna put into the record and you make your demands and you don't go back. You put an affidavit into the record or a certified copy into the record. That has to be considered law. After that, and you revoke all contracts because you was entered into them contracts unknowingly and unwillingly. They entered you into contracts that you had no knowledge of the terms and conditions of those contracts. So revoke them, cancel them. Then you tell them, now you move forward in your proper status and your proper capacity, and you tell them what it is and what you want them to do and how it's going to be done in your estate with your life and with your children. This is how you take their power away. Get the knowledge of self, get the knowledge of how to operate and conduct your affairs. Quit letting these people tell you you need this and you need that to do stuff. They holding us hostage because they done came here and took everything. Now they got all the jobs. They have all of, everything we need. So now we subject to them. Well, you got at some point you got to take a stand and say, no, I don't have to be forced to assimilate into anything, and any right, privilege, or benefit on this land, I can have it too under my own terms. This is how I live my life. I'm stubborn, I'm uncompromising, and it's going to be what I know it's supposed to be, not what somebody else that I know came here and stole everything they got. Now they want to come here, put their feet up on my great great grandparents' coffee table and take their land and put their children out on the street whenever they get ready. It ain't going out. I ain't going out like that. At some point, you have to take a stand. You have to be willing to take a stand to change things. If not for yourself, for your heirs and your children that's coming behind you. This is how you make change. You don't make change by going and rioting. You don't have to fight for something that's already yours. You can send them a one-page affidavit and stand on that. They gonna try you, yeah. They gonna try you a few times because that's what they supposed to do, to make sure you ready to have what it is you telling them is yours. You can't be ruling over stuff that you ain't ready for. So of course there's a test, there's a challenge. You have to be seated in it to receive it. You got to be seated in your knowledge to be able to tell them, no, this is what it's gonna be, and I'm not budging from it, and I'm gonna get the benefit of whatever you got going on my land. You don't cut yourself off from benefits and different things like that. It's all whatever they doing on this land, and it's a benefit or a privilege that you want, you can have it, but under your own terms. Give them an affidavit, certified copy from the county register of deeds, and that's that. Stop letting these people throw you around like a rag doll every time they get ready, and try to do something with your children every time they get ready. So that's the word for the day, Black people. You're not going to see your full uh potential, your full inheritance claiming to be Black. Black has no legal or lawful, it's a non-legal construct. So this is another contract and another label that you don't know the full terms and conditions of. But you just calling yourself black because that's what they put on the application for you to choose from. So that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up. Till the next time. If you need any readings done, contact me. If you need any clarity on your legal situation, you can contact me. Um, you know where to find me. Peace and love. Y'all be good.